Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel. You join me for part 10 of building my dream garage here at the Shmuseum, where of course we have built this grandstand, which today is going to get a pretty special finishing detail. Now this has been literally the transformation of this barn on a farm. I've said it many times, it was a milking parlour. It was not set for storing my car collection. Now home to the Shmeemobiles, we have our racetrack that runs through the middle, inspired by the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Until now, we've had our offices in a temporary gazebo over on that side, where Martin and Webbo from Novus are going to be working today effectively on the storage room. Not only the storage room, there is another office there. For those of you wondering what the plans were with that, we've also got my office up in the very center. We've got the media office off to the side where Webbo is finishing up some details. We've also got the collectibles room, but that's not all, guys. There is more to come. So I want to show you what's going to be the icing on the cake of the grandstand, what's going to make it feel even more like the spectator area at a racing venue. So let's get cracking on with this. I cannot believe the dream garage is coming to life. You might have spotted what's been lurking in the background, and that's what we've got right here. So of course, what you have at motorsports venues are advertising hoardings, are boards, and up here, you'll notice that we left these bulkheads, these 60 centimetre or so tall sections on both levels, perfectly suited to this purpose. This is where Billy from Your Print Partner has helped us out with some boards. For example, Novus Workspace Solutions. We then have Lintos and Company, who helped me find the venue. We have Global Telemetrics, which are the tracking systems I use in all of my cars. We then have Cure and Westwood, who are of course responsible for the flooring here in the garage. We've got CTEC, who have been a long-term partner. We've got some Shmeemobile 50 boards as well. We've also got Dub Customs. We've got Tollgate, who are the brokers I use for my insurance. We've then got, oops, skipped one just there, AMF, Approved Motor Finance, Krish and the team over there. We've got some Shmuseum boards. We've got Topaz, of course, who do the PPF on the cars. A couple more Shmuseum ones, some gap fillers if you like. ESG, switchable glass, and Dura. More to come with them. Watch this space. We've then got some more Shmuseum and Shmeemobile 50 ones. They continue through. We've also got BOTB, long-term partner, plus Benpack, Auto Stacker, of course, who are responsible for the car lifts that we have in here. And have I got one more at the back here? Yes, of course I do. Whoops, Wheel Fix It, who come in amazingly when we need wheels, tyres, and getting things fixed up. So those are going to be spread across the two levels up there, and we're going to work on installing them a little bit later on. Something I've been quite excited about, because these are the guys who have been part of everything that's happened on the channel here at the garage. There'll be more. There are some that will swap around. There are all sorts of things. Very exciting. Anyway, I'm well aware that while I'm standing here talking to you, Martin is waiting to cut some timbers for what's going to be the very high wall across the storage section, because effectively that whole area is going to be walled off to that height, 3.66 meters tall, so nearly all the way up to the ceiling height from that wall along, which has two purposes. One, a lot of space behind because we can go up for storage, and two, a lot of space on this side for displaying things. A lot of space for some very big, tall display things. Yes, you've remembered my Maxi Swatch collection can be displayed down that wall. That's one of the purposes. So we've marked out the flooring. We've done it before, but we've changed it a little bit, which is why the confusion. It's going to have the office space at this end of that area, the garage office literally being in the garage. I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. And then the other 2/3 of it, if you will be the indoor enclosed storage. It's all coming together, and I suspect we're going to see some stud work going up very fast today. What I've been doing over here is lying these out in the order that I intend them to be, so we can see what the colours look like and where all of the partners are going to go, and just shuffle them around a bit, because these are the two rows, the two bulkheads. So the upper level you can see here are all of the guys who've been involved in the Shmuseum, in the garage, in the build. The lower level are some long-term partners, of course, of the channel. And one of the cool things about this is that I think it both brings something to the garage, but also brings something to everybody who's been involved in making all of this happen and be possible in the first place. Of course, at a racing venue like Silverstone or Spa or the Nürburgring GP or COTA or something like that, you would have loads of different grandstands, and these would be quite repetitive. You'd have the same logos almost 10 times over. But given we don't have quite that much space, it creates a nice mix of colours. I've been sorting them out so that we don't have the same one next to another at any point, and it will completely give the feel and the vibe that I've been going for with the whole of this garage. It's so fun. This was an idea I had a long time ago when thinking about this. Remember, even up here, the railings were all done to feel like that industrial type vibe. They're going to fit so well with those boards running along here when it's all lit up. There's obviously more lighting to come in the halo space, for example. There's going to be tons of things with all the memorabilia that we can show, and that's coming along quite quickly. You can see the doorway being marked out. So this progress is going to happen really, really fast, and by the end of the day, we're going to have another completely new setup, which I can't wait to see. Before we get too far with everything today, pulling out some dust sheets just to cover over stuff like the gas pumps. These things are not the most simple in the world, but if we throw this over, we can hide some of this stuff away because of all of the timber cutting that is going to be involved for the build, using another supply of timber thanks to Holmes Hill Shepherd's Huts. Ready to rock and roll. There we go. That is a little bit dust protected. Whew, one thing at a time, hey? One thing at a time. I've swapped some of these around for a few reasons to try and make the logos nearer to where their relevant things are. So for example, the lifts are going to be above the kitchenette door, obviously over this side, towards the lifts. We're going to have Topaz over at that end because we've got the Topaz Detailing Products corner. We're going to have the glass right up above the glass. We've got the very prominent central positions over this way. These are all the guys obviously involved in the cars in the collections. So it all kind of ties in quite nicely in terms of the order. We've just got to get these up onto the walls. Let's come over this way. Martin,
good morning.
Things going?
Things are good. And for all those people that thought that a certain person was being neglected, guess whose office this is?
There is a room. There is indeed a room. It's quite funny because right now that feels tiny, but we've measured it. It's a nice sized little room down here.
Even Tom can fit in this space.
So, door for the office room at that end.
We now need to figure out
door.
Where do you want this opening?
I think we're going to try and put in a double door, right, for large storage items. So leave a bit of room behind the door you suggested for trolley jacks and whatever it might be.
So let's go 400. Let's go 400 today.
400?
Yep.
Arbitrarily chosen, but seems to do the job. So we'll have the double door opening here. That will fit with all of our storage racks. I'm just going to hope that works.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine.
Trust me.
Everything will be fine. Trust in the process.
Trust in the Schmartin.
Trust in
all
the
is good. All is
good. How are
good.
those covers doing for you?
No, they're very nice, thank you.
It's lucky that I didn't leave something important underneath there.
Well, if you did, I've just squashed it. No, we're all good.
All in the day's work.
Absolutely. It's all part of the service.
So, first part of the studs are up. Obviously using diagonals to support
that just locks the corner in place, so I've got a upright corner to start with, and then we can basically put some more studs in this way, stick a top plate on, and then brace back to one of those purlins. That gives us a framework to then fill in. We might board it as we go to give it strength, but yeah, we will soon build you a storage area.
I think because it's a storage room, it's not an occupied office, right? We'll just board it on the outside.
Yes.
It's quite easy. I know you're using slightly different boards. It's not the same plasterboard because obviously
no, use plywood if you're going to fix things to it. Plywood's much easier to screw things in and out of. Plasterboard will eventually deteriorate to the point where it will be of no use to man nor beast. So yeah, plywood is the best option.
Okay, perfect. And it's going to be really tall. This is all happening very quickly. It is very tall, not gonna lie, with some of the timbers up here. Obviously we've got the lighting inside. If you think about the office, it will have a false ceiling like we have over there. So a normal height kind of means there's a storage area almost on top of that. But obviously from the outside, this is going to give us the whole area to have that surface facing out to display different things and enclose that side of the garage. It's gonna be quite strange actually seeing this happen. The plywood boards, I think, measure 12, 20, I want to say, so it's 3 of those tall effectively to keep things simple. And that will overlap, if we come around here, the front of the little room back in the corner. So it will run very clean and seamlessly down the front of the garage. I'm loving it, loving where it's going. Brad's getting involved with all of this, charging DeWalt batteries. We've got scaffolding to help because Martin and Weber have now put that piece up at the very top. That's a really tall wall. We also have the formation of the room here, which is cool. That's actually a decent size. It's about 3.5 meters by 3 meters in total for The desk placement, I have a door with a window, that kind of thing going in here. In fact, the door is probably only going to be about half of this, which gives me a whole load of space up here to hang some things up as well. But by the end of today, we're going to have a lot more of that stud work wise in place to get a feel for the whole of that wall, really, maybe even some of the plywood, but obviously we want to get these up, so that is a big part of today. We're upstairs. It's time to work all of this out. Measuring first. I'm suspecting we're starting with the best one, right, Martin?
Well, that would be ridiculous, but I think you might be right. And I wonder what the best one actually is. Ah!
What a surprise! Novus Workspace Solutions.
First banner up.
So there will be a trunking piece along the edge of the plasterboard.
Yes, there's a
just
trim
downstairs.
which is lurking down there which will go on.
And we've been thinking about different ideas to mount all of this.
We have a special idea, but it's just a...
All very nice.
Look at that.
Look at that. The question is, do we go... I think we go a touch lower so it sits along the bottom edge. That's my kind of idea. Yeah, that's where I'd like it. That's how we like it. That's looking really good. You've got a little assembly line going on here.
Yep.
The assembly line of boards and their mounting line up. I like this. I like watching how you know what you're doing, because I would be sitting here coming up with some, I don't know.
There'd be rulers and all sorts.
It would be a disaster.
Lasers.
It would be an absolute disaster. Should I go downstairs and get some more boards? Or should we just focus on upstairs
Or
first?
do the ones up here first, and we can go and set ourselves up downstairs for those ones.
These all have their backing stuff ready. Best one first. I see what's happening there, while Webbo is putting up some plywood over that side. So hopefully it's just one after the other and work along, and we've got all of these down here.
Yeah, and the first grandstand banners will be complete.
It's almost too easy, like scary easy.
Okay.
Too sticky, hey?
Technique.
Oh, you got the line. What's going on down there? Easy, I'll go get the next board, which is the next one. Dura is the next one.
Thank you.
Board. Line it up at the edge. Go up a bit. Boom. Fast forward, this is shaping up beautifully. This is the final one at the top level. Bit of a system and process running right now. Put that on, and then I'll pass up this board and then carefully do this one-handed.
Yeah, don't mess the last one up.
Yeah, that would be awkward. You got it?
Yep.
There we go. Line it up.
Tell me when you're ready.
Oh, yep, ready there.
Job done.
Board in place. That looks mega. That looks absolutely mega. Do you know what we need to do now? Run downstairs and go and have a look.
Shall we?
Go downstairs safely.
Well, let's walk downstairs, not run.
No running in the office.
No running in the office.
In the garage.
Well, hey.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
That is awesome.
Not bad. Not bad. We have lights off, which I'll explain in a moment. Moving some cars as well to continue with the cleaning of the lifts. There's a lot happening over there, but doing this using the laser to see the line, so it makes it much, much easier. You managing? You need your hand up there, Martin.
I think I can cope, and you'll catch me if I fall.
I'm not so sure about that, but
Give it your best shot.
we've got topaz going up first at this end, lining on the top edge this time around, just to make sure that we have the right fit. Looks pretty neat to me. Neat and tidy. Hard to see with the light, but we'll get a few more mounted and then have a proper look. Martin, this is almost happening too quickly.
You are correct, but that means I can get on with all the other things we still need to do. So quick is good.
Last one on the lower level, or no, on this, on the front fascia. Oh, the colours are brilliant. I feel like I've walked into Silverstone right now. This is cool.
Ta-da!
As if by magic. Look at that. Look at that. We've still got a few more to go before the finished look over this side, but that is nice. It's time for the last one, Martin.
Oh yes.
The last one for the time being. We have shuffled, I should say, and swapped around a couple just to look slightly tidier. For example, Shmuseum and Benpack, those are swapped round, and we moved BOTB and Shmeemobiles 50 swapped the other way around just to spread the colours out. But obviously using the DeWalt laser here, we have the very straight line to pull all of these up. We've got Dub Custom up next. As soon as Martin's done that bit, I can pass this one up to him, and then we've got some more space obviously on this wall for other things to be hung. For the moment though, line this up, come and get that edge there.
Are you happy?
Yeah, happy, that feels good.
Voila!
Dub Customs is up on the wall. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool, Martin. This worked. This was nice. Oh yes, laser down. Laser
Goodbye,
down.
laser.
Wow. Nice.
Perfect.
That's really cool. We've got to tidy some things up and whatnot, but that is really, really, really cool. What a result. What a result.
Well done, everyone.
With all of the excitement of that though, I do want to pop over here and show you some progress where Webbo has been installing all of the sections that go between the uprights to get these boards in place. Obviously this is going to be the door through, but this is some pretty nice progress. As we said earlier, this is so we can hang stuff on it. It's feeling very strong and sturdy. Hasn't yet obviously been linked and attached back to the purlin, but that will happen. This is turning out to be quite a lot of space, to be totally honest. There's a ton of stuff here that needs sorting and organizing. Like that's actually from when my LT was at Goodwood. I want to say that was 2017, 2018, 2017 probably, back then, long time ago. Anyway, loads of things on the shelves, some of which will end up in the offices, some of which will end up in the other storage rooms, and this will be more the storage for all the car stuff. Because once you have this many cars, they bring a lot of things with them. Things like cones, and then also obviously accessories and car covers and all that kind of stuff. That was the invite to Gumball many years ago, just spotting in one of the stacker boxes down there. We've got all of our DeWalt tools. In fact, some new things have been added to our little display as well, but those will all end up in the storage area, which is work in progress at the moment. Obviously all with the stackers. That took me by surprise just up there. This is actually going to be amazing. It goes so high up, I hadn't really, well, we spent a while thinking about it, but I hadn't really expected it to look so high up there, but it means we're going to have that very consistent finish all the way around. So this is some pretty big progress today. A lot happening, a lot of new additions and changes. Tom is popping the Vantage up on the lift. Because this has the automated manual, you kind of need to give it a bit of pace. Oh, nearly there, yep. That was pretty nicely done, to be honest. That was a good job. Thumbs up, that's hard. That car is really hard to reverse, harder than say a manual or a dual clutch car, but nice to have that lift tidied. Now we're going to have to get in here, which means pulling this out and a shuffle around of other things. But you'll have noticed we uncovered the Ford GT because we're actually going to take this out and just go shoot a few things to do with the new Quicksilver exhaust that it wears. So that's my next plan, short little run with this and then come back and figure out where we're at next. That was supposed to be a short drive. It was actually about 6 hours ago that we filmed the last clip. Well, fast forward, we've moved things around a little bit. I don't know what's going on here. I did try to put my Goodwill Ford GT cover over the Zenvo and doesn't look right, does it? It doesn't look right at all. That was just off, obviously temporarily. While I took that out, that needs to clean. You get the point. We'll shuffle it all back around. In the meantime, the lifts have been cleaned up. Tom was working on these, so all of the cars have been out. The two Clios, the Abarth and the TBR have all been out. They've been cleaned, everything put away. First time they've really had a proper clean since we put them all in here and got cracking with all of that. Obviously, now that we've got something that we're a little bit more proud of in terms of the garage, it's important to be more on top of this going forwards, to be more on top of cleaning and rubbish and mundane stuff, because it's no longer, literally, as I've said a million times, a cowshed. It's no longer just a milking parlour. It is now a man cave. It's now a proper garage. This place is really coming together. And in fact, over this way, it's the fact that this has gone up so quickly. To see this transformation already with what's happening here. Obviously, it's really tall, like really tall, which is probably more than I initially expected, but I don't mind at all because I know how that's going to work down the line, and it will go all the way to the far end. In fact, if you come through this way, it's going to go all the way down up towards the distribution board back here, so it'll come straight across the whole front, which gives a really nice finish, and then down the line eventually go along the back wall. But that's not going to happen for a little while. That needs a little pause before we get to doing that, because otherwise it's just too much all at once, really. But from here, it's that view. It's looking to that view. It's looking to that result. I had that idea a long time ago to pop up all of the literal sponsors on the grandstand, on the wall, exactly as you would see at a venue. And I think it works perfectly. You know, when we look at this, obviously from the right-hand side here, the Shmuseum, that's where we are. Benpack Auto Stacker. Wouldn't be possible to have all the cars in here stored away without Benpack. Next up, AMF, Approved Motor Finance. Definitely wouldn't be possible to have all of the cars here without Approved Motor Finance. Obviously the Shmeemobiles 50 right at the center. CTEC, every single car lives on a CTEC. We also have the CTEC EV charger. BOTB that I've worked with for over a decade now, 11 years, 12 years since I first met the team from BOTB. Topaz, basically nearly every car with Topaz paint protection film, absolutely critical. Global Telemetrics run an amazing telemetry system, tracker system in the cars. Whoops will fix it, have saved the day a few times. Tollgates have insured me for over a decade now. And Dub Customs, of course, have wrapped many of the cars along the way. Up top, Novus doing this whole build. Dura, we haven't quite got to yet, but we will do very soon. ESG for this incredible switchable glass down here. Shown it a lot of times, absolutely love it. And then we move on to Cure Group and Westwood, of course, for the flooring, and Lintott and Company. You've seen Paul on the Shmuseum channel. Paul Lintott helped me find this place in the beginning. He's the go-to man for tracking down the right venue. It's really hard. If you're people who have something like this will be able to relate, you need the right place. You need the right venue, you need the right things. Garages, high net worth individuals for nice homes, that kind of stuff, you can imagine. And yeah, there's more to come though. There's a lot more to come because we need to finish the storage wall. We need to finish the office over there. There's obviously going to be some more lighting here. There are plenty more things that I haven't spoken about. I do appreciate all of your ideas, guys. So I do read them all, or try and read them all to keep up with everything that people are suggesting. But we're a long way from being finished. The glass doors, for example, upstairs need to go in. We need to sort out the storage rooms. We need a little bit more lighting. We need the bathrooms to go in as well. That's going to need to be done. We are going to be saying goodbye to a few cars soon. I'm going to just throw that out there right now, just bomb drop. Before I get back from Gumball 3000, a car or two might have gone, will have gone. Sad times, but it is what it is because there are lots of cars on order. In fact, at this moment in time, as I told you recently, I've got 7 cars on order. I don't want to say goodbye to 7 cars. We're not going to let 7 cars go. The Senna is a big chunk of that, but 1 or 2 others will have to depart. And then I got to work out what's going to happen with space, because space is going to become a premium. Obviously, the 812 is going to go after Gumball, but we've got some room behind for a couple. The Halo Bay will become empty. Probably the Zembo will go at the Halo Bay. Loads and loads of shuffling around to be done. Lots and lots of organizing. But it's unreal to have this place coming to life. I know for some people there's too much color. It's too much of an explosion. There's too much going on. But I've said it before, this is like my dream place. If you knew me when I was a kid, I had stuff everywhere. I like bright colors. I mean, literally, right? Always just into this kind of stuff. And this is like my grown-up toy room, literally. My grown-up toy room is probably the best way to describe it. So it's a huge thanks to Martin and the Novus team, because that's mega. Of course, to Billy as well and the team over at Your Print Partner, who have been helping us out with these and with plenty of other things as well. But I think I should probably leave it for there today for the Building My Dream Garage series. There is lots more to come. In fact, next up, some lights, and more lights than you probably expect, and not the lights that you expect. Stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.